What if I were to tell you that this one simple action could literally change your life forever? That just one singular change could literally transform you from the person that you don't like being to the person that you wish you could be. Don't worry about it, because in today's video, we're going to be discussing the one true thing that you're really going to need to set you up towards success, especially in this new year. Let's get into the video. Yo, what's up, y'all? My name is Cartez Jr. and today we're going to be getting into the podcast, right? And so just because you clicked on the title of this video, you kind of already may have some kind of question, or you already may have some kind of like idea of what this video may be about. But for those who do not know, this video is going to be talking strictly about the health benefits of working out and then also dieting and what it has done in my life. So real quickly, I'm going to refer to my notes here that I jotted down because there's some really staggering statistics here that we're going to open up with today. And actually, according to the World Health Organization, more than a quarter of adults ages 18 to 64 are insufficiently active. And again, according to the World Health Organization, and doing the math, that is 1.4 billion people. That's a lot of people, considering that there's like 8 billion people on this planet. So 1.4 billion people is a staggering amount. The next thing is that there has been no improvement in global levels of activity since 2001. So like everything just came to a standstill, and insufficient activity increased by 5%, meaning it went from 31.6% to 36.8% in high income countries between 2001 to 2016. And the last fact, I promise this is the last fact, according to the CDC, more than 60% of US adults do not engage in the recommended amount of physical activity. So just according to the World Health Organization, the CDC, and things like that. So some reputable sources are coming out saying like, hey, there's not enough physical activity going around between the people living here on Earth and even in these countries. And there needs to be some level of urgency. So just even diving a little bit into my story. My story is, I would say from, I think it was somewhere from June all the way to November of 2023 last year, I was going in between. I raised from 240 pounds to about 255 to about 260 pounds on the scale. And it was terrible. And I felt absolutely terrible. I kind of let myself go on that summer, meaning I was eating like fast food restaurant foods like every other day. It was terrible. And that was something at the time that I thought, this is something that I can sustain in my body. But honestly, it didn't do me any good. It didn't do me any good when it came to my health. It didn't do me any good when it came to even physical activity and in my schoolwork. On top of that, my job, most of you guys who are watching this video don't even know, but I'm in ROTC. I am in Army, ROTC. So right now, technically working for the government, but also learning and getting my education, my bachelor's degree. And my bachelor's degree actually is going to be in health sciences. And so all this stuff that I'm talking about is actually stuff that I studied. And I've actually done a couple like just school reports on these things. And it actually raised a level of kind of urgency in my mind, because I said, wow, these numbers are incredible, and incredible in the worst way possible, that we need more people to get more physically active. And you cannot be the best version of yourself, because on this channel, I talk a lot about self-improvement and being a leader. But in order to lead, you must be able to lead yourself. And how do you lead yourself? You must be able to do the simple things. And when I say the simple things, I mean such as getting up, looking at yourself in the mirror. And in the beginning, it is going to be tough. In the beginning, it will not be easy, but it becomes simple the more that you do it. And so that's why I say simple. But I mean, when you first get started, it's not going to be easy, but it becomes simple the more that you do it. It's actually this thing, if you know anything about statistics, it is actually this thing called the rule of large numbers. And basically the rule of large numbers state that the more you do something, just probability wise, statistics wise, it's going to become higher. So it's the same way you can apply that same thing to your life. The more you do something, the higher input, the higher chance of you become more successful in that task. And so I really like to apply that into my life. And so when you do it more, it becomes slightly easier, because now it just becomes a habit. So this raised a level of concern to me, because I said, well, how are you going to be able to be a leader how are you going to be able to do these tasks and be able to withhold all these responsibilities if you're not able to withhold the responsibilities on yourself? And really quick, I don't want to trash anybody. If you're feeling any sense of like regret or blame or any sense of bad, I just want to tell you that this video is not to bash you. This video is simply to raise awareness and simply to let you know that in order for you to become better, then you must improve. So I'm going to get a little bit into my story. So like I said, from June to about November, I grew to about 240 to 260 pounds. At this time, I thought that I was great, but I secretly felt like crap. When I would go to PT, which is what we do every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday here in Army. And we do it from 6:30 to 7:30 a.m. So we would go and we go do these runs. We go do these exercises that to me now and are really easy exercise, but at the time it felt terrible and it sucked because I wasn't giving my body the proper nutrients. And although I was working out those 3 days a week and sometimes 4 or 5 days a week, I wasn't necessarily putting the right things back in my body. And on top of that, when I would leave those PT days, most days I wouldn't even go to the gym. So I really let myself kind of fall through. And so with a couple of things going on in my health and a couple of, tests and things like that, I realized that I needed to change. And I realized that where I currently was at health wise was no longer going to be able to sustain the life that I want to live. So I decided to, I looked to my parents because back in Georgia, we were living in Georgia for about 2 to 3 years. And back there, my parents went on this incredible health journey. And I mean, all props to them. Their journey was incredible. And the amount of weight that they lost at the time, the amount of, knowledge that they gained from just being there, and the energy, and like they were literally reversing in age at that time. And it was amazing seeing that from a child's point of view to my parents. And so I decided, hey, I needed to turn to them, people who have done this journey, and I've seen with my own eyes that it literally transformed them. So they were like, hey, you need to go on like this 7-day, raw diet. That's what we first did when we got started. We go on this 7-day raw diet, meaning no cooked foods. It's going to be just leafy greens, and it's going to be just nothing but fruits, right? This is going to help you get to the levels that you need to get to with your health. And so I did that for 7 days. It was very, very hard. I broke a lot of eating habits during that time, which is awesome. And I still carry to this day. And just doing that, I lost about 10 to 15 pounds. And I don't want to get too in depth into that story, because we're going to save that story for another day, for another video. But I lost 10 to 15 pounds just by doing that. And then I come back in January about 30 pounds lighter. So in January, which is last month now of 2024, I was literally 235 pounds, which was awesome to me because, again, like I said, I was 260 pounds. So I was on a very high end of the spectrum. And so once I became 235, then we got back here and I started becoming a lot more intentional about my working out. Granted, I was already getting more intentional about it, but I was getting more intentional on really pushing myself to the ultimate limits in my workouts. And so just, big story short, after running, 5, 6, 8 miles and things of that sort, and doing all these really daunting tasks, I was able to get all the way down. And now I'm currently weighing, I just weighed like literally 3 minutes before starting this video, I'm 223 pounds. So I understand that doing that is very important. And when I did that, I was able to then get into some of the benefits. We're going to get into the benefits later in this video, but I was able to get into the benefits that workout provides for you. And through that, I was able to perform a lot better in a lot of my tasks. I began to become more clear and more focused. So we're going to get into the benefits, but really quickly, before we get into the benefits, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe in this video. Comment your favorite piece or favorite part of this episode, and like, I really want to know, because I really want to go down the chat and I want to help as many people as I possibly can. Like, so if you have anything that you may have liked out of this episode, then go ahead and drop it down below in the comments. Or if not, a quick like and a subscribe would be awesome. But we're going to get into the benefits. The benefits of working out is, the first thing is it improves your mental health. So that's probably, to me, feels like the most obvious point. But the more and more people I talk to who may not work out as much, that's something that is like a big eyebrow raiser to them. And so when you work out, you release endorphins, you release feel good, you release these hormones called serotonin. It's like dopamine. We all know the big hormone like dopamine, which is your feel good, and that actually promotes you to feel better and more motivated to complete tasks throughout your day. When you feel more motivated and when you're completing tasks, it kind of goes hand in hand, because when you're completing those tasks, you feel better. It's like this extra light load being lifted off of you. And so that also contributes to your mental health. And if you're anything like me, a student in any level of education right now, whether it be collegiate, like where I'm at right now, whether it be high school, middle school, elementary school, heck, even if it's kindergarten and pre-K, maintaining well mental health is extremely important for these years of our life, because we're young, and on top of that, we have a lot of things going on in our life that we're trying to build around. And also, even if you're not in school, it is equally as important to maintain mental health, because like I said, you have all these added responsibilities going on in your life. So you got this thing, you got work going on, you got maybe something you're trying to build up on your own over here. Then you got to worry about being a dad, a father, a mother, a daughter. And then you got to worry about being maybe a sister or something, anything like that. You have to worry about all these things. And so you want to take as much level of stress off of yourself as possible. So then that way you're able to complete tasks at the max level of proficiency, right? And so that's a little thing on mental health. So making sure that when you're working out, it also releases these feel good hormones like we talked about earlier. So when you're working out, if you ever worked out and you came from out of the gym, you would often feel tired. That's number one. But then you would also feel really good. You would feel accomplished. You would feel like you conquered something in your day. And there's a reason behind that. There's actual science behind that. It's because you're telling your body that anytime I feel sad or anytime anything, then working out is the way to get me feeling good. And when you start programming your mind that, hey, if I need to feel good or if I need to do anything, workout is the way. That is a very positive way of starting out. That's why you get the term gym rats, because that's essentially how they would have started. And I could quite call myself a gym rat myself. Like if I'm having a bad day, I'll probably go to the gym, and 9 times out of 10, I'm feeling 30 times better coming out that gym. And that is quite literally because the endorphins out of your mind is releasing to the rest of your body. But we're going to quickly get into the next one, which is improved sleeping. And this is another eyebrow raiser, right? That a lot of people did not know, is that, well, and the connotations around that is like people say, well, if I'm working out, then, I should be able to have more energy. That's true. But it also helps you sleep. So it's like a double-sided coin here, but it's a good double-sided coin. So yes, you have more energy, but also you are able to get more quality sleep. I guess I should say that. It gives you more quality sleep. If you've worked out, you realize that night of sleep probably was the best amount of sleep you ever received. There's a reason for that, because you relax. When you work out and you fatigue those muscles and things like that, you begin to like your body goes to this moment of relaxation. And especially after taking a shower, whether it be cold or hot, your body goes into this state of kind of relaxation, because now what your body's trying to do is repair the damage, which is good damage, but the damage that was done during working out. So now your body needs to focus primarily on the muscle repairs and the tissue that you just tore up, right? And so that is another reason why, if you're trying to get a fit body, rest is just as equally important, if not more important, than the gym or running or whatever exercise you're doing in itself, because this is the time that your body uses to focus all of its energy to repair muscle tissue and repair those muscles inside your body. So that is why you begin to feel more relaxed. You also feel more relaxed because this also goes back into the point of mental health. You feel good. Oftentimes when you're not stressed out and you feel good, you feel more relaxed. You're able to focus a little bit better. And so that's where the improved sleeping is going to come in at. It also helps you focus more efficiently. Going through the day, you have this certain level of focus. You have this certain level of efficiency because, like I said, you have that dopamine, that feel good response coming through. The cortisol levels are in really good ranges. And so now you're able to focus instead of how you feel personally, like in the bad way. You're not able to focus outwardly on certain tasks. And so again, trying to connect this back to the channel, what I talk about is leadership and self-improvement. So now you're able to now disperse this to your team. You're able to now give out that good energy to the rest of your team because now you could put your best foot forward and truly focus on what needs to be focused on for that day. And when you put in certain amount of focus and effort into something, you move more efficiently and you also move quicker in something. So that is the next thing on that. Next thing is it creates a stronger heart. This is probably the best way. Cardiovascular activities, which is like running and swimming and things like that, walking, and also weightlifting, things like that is going to help you tremendously with creating a stronger heart. The reason why is because your heart is working harder, right, to pump out blood during these strenuous activities. Your heart is working twice as hard. So what you're doing is that you're training your heart to become strong, because just like every other muscle in your body, your heart must be worked out as well. So it becomes stronger. The more it contracts, right, the stronger it's becoming. Picture I don't know if you guys ever seen these like little black like hand things on TikTok, but you put like these little circles around your fingertips and you go like this or whatever. And it's supposed they claim that it improves the strength growth. Well, picture that as your heart. Is that your heart is in essence the same way. The more and the harder it's having to pump and squeeze, the more it's working out and the stronger it's becoming, right? And so now it's able to, when you also do that, you're also taking away the cholesterol out of your body. And so now the blood can just freely flow through your body quicker, faster, and more efficiently. And so this also decreases your chances of heart failure, decreases your chances drastically, and heart attacks and things of that sort. So working out, provides is good things, but yeah. And so the next thing is that it boosts your energy levels, boosts your muscle, of course, and it boosts your self-esteem, right? And self-esteem all ties into mental health. Boosting energy levels all ties back to mental health, and building your muscle ties into just everyday activities that you do. So when you're walking, you may notice that when you're hitting those leg days, don't skip leg days, by the way, but if you're hitting those leg days, you're going to notice that you may be walking a little bit faster with the same, if not less effort now. When you're running, you're going to be able to run faster with the same, if not less effort. I went from running on average a 9-minute pace in like 2 miles to now I can easily run almost an 8-minute flat in those same 2 miles. The difference in why is because of my weight training. And then also the more that I worked out, the stronger my heart, mind, spirit, and body became. And so working out, as you know, are so important, right? And when you add some sort of physical activity to your life, whether it goes out walking or whether you're doing swimming, anything that requires you to put in a little bit more effort into something, you're going to reap the benefits of that. And if you're watching this video, you're probably like, well, where do I start, Cartez? I could tell you where to start. Start by simply going out for a walk. If you don't want to go outside for whatever reason, you can simply start by walking around your room or walking around your house. You can do a couple laps around your house just simply by walking. That will boost your heart rate, which in turn would start burning more calories, because when you start getting warmer, your body's working hard to burn calories. And now you're promoting that growth. And when you feel better, you can maybe start running around the house or running around, your neighborhood. You don't have to start huge, right? All you need is one small step. Like I said, all you need to do is do one simple task every day, and eventually you're going to look back in a year and you're going to grow to something humongous. When I first started on my on me becoming more intentional with my fitness, it started at day one. And when I started on day one, I didn't see results. The first 2 or 3 days, I didn't feel or see any results. It wasn't until day 4 and day 7 where I've seen results and I started feeling those results. But those results were compounded and eventually to where now I started becoming better. If after day 1 or 2 I quit, I would have never experienced where I'm at today. And I would have never been as great feeling and as healthy as I feel as I do now. So I just want to leave with some level of encouragement. The encouragement is that you can do it, right? I'm not going to sit here and say that, and I'm not going to sit here and downplay or anything like that. It will be tough, but the amazing thing about it is that you can do it, and that you, as long as you have a goal in mind and as long as you believe in yourself to the max, you're going to be able to do anything that you put your mind to. Take it from me, who was 260 pounds, to now 2 months later, 223 pounds. Take it from me that when you put your mind towards something, the output is going to be so incredible. And because I stayed consistent and because I stayed efficient in it, I was able to get to my goal 10 times quicker than I ever thought I could. So I leave you some words of encouragement, right? You start on day one, not one day. Start on day one, not one day. Day one could be now. Day one could be tomorrow. But make sure that when you start no matter how you feel, and continue to persist in action. These are also characteristics of a great leader. Again, like I said in the beginning of this video, a great leader is a person who has the ability to also lead themselves. So you got to be able to properly lead yourself in order to be able to lead others. But hey, again, my name is Cartesius Jr. I'm your host, and today video is a little bit different, just a talking head video. So then, I see you guys later, and take it easy. See you.